From the Empire State to the Golden Gates, this is Quad Radio USA.
Oh, yeah.
Now, with all the dirt from the world of ATV motocross and GNCC racing, here's Mr. 10 Seconds, Rodney Tomlin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Quad Radio as we come to you today talking with one of our former top, I shouldn't say former, but I'll call her an 8-time National ATV Motocross Women's Class Champion, Heather Byrd. And I'll tell you, what's really cool is she may have retired last year, but at the same time, she decided it's all about the fun. She comes out to Walnut, Illinois, to Sunset Ridge Motocross and puts on one spectacular show for the racing crowd out here. And I just want to say welcome to Quad Radio. Welcome back to ATV Motocross Racing, Heather.
Thanks, Rodney. I appreciate it. It was really fun being out here this weekend.
I can only imagine. I know that you made the announcement there late last season that that was going to be your last competitive season racing for championships, and I know that had to be a tough pill for you to swallow.
It was definitely hard. I started racing back in the three-wheeler days, so actually, been throwing my leg over a three-wheeler or a four-wheeler for almost 30 years. So, to make that decision was difficult, but there's a point in time, I guess, you have to make a decision what you're going to do with your life, and I just had to steer towards something new and something different. And a lot of it is I can ride my four-wheeler anytime I want, but you miss the family that's here. Everybody here is a second family to you, so that made it hard. And definitely wanted to come out to some races this year, cheer everybody else on, see how things are going, and I couldn't just show up and not ride my four-wheeler.
Understandably. Now, were you surprised at the response that you got, or were you expecting everybody to say, "Oh, it's good to see you back"?
Oh, it was definitely, I was definitely glad that it was the way it was. Everybody was really happy to see me, and I missed everybody too. You don't realize how close you are with everybody and how everybody is like a family to you until you're gone for a while and you miss a few races. But I kept in touch with a lot of people, and Facebook and things like that. People asking where I am and making sure how things are going. But it was nice to see a lot of faces this weekend that I hadn't seen since the banquet.
For sure, and to see you back out there on the track, man, look like you haven't lost much, or if anything at all, man. I mean, and what about this women's class? It seems like you leave, and all of a sudden, all the competition comes from out of nowhere, man. I mean, this class is one of the most stacked classes as far as competition is concerned now.
Well, yeah, I was really good. I was really glad to see. I knew Sam was going to be. I knew she was going to be tough again this year or whatever. She rode hard. The races she rode with Michelle and I last year, and definitely was getting some time under her belt, and was going to be a lot stronger this year. I figured Adrian would come back, and try another season, especially with Michelle and I gone. It gives people a chance. Makes them a little bit more excited about the season, I'm sure. It was awesome to see Chloe Brewster moving up. I knew Chloe would. She's been riding with the guys for a long time, and I think she just needs a little bit of time in this class or whatever, and she'll really be pushing towards the front, because she would put it on the boys last year a lot, and so, I think you're going to see a lot out of her, and, there's a lot of talent in the class, and it's just going to keep growing, I hope.
You're right, and I'll tell you, Katie, Maddie, and both Chloe are putting it to the boys in the B classes right now, believe it or not. I think Chloe got like a second in Moto 1, and I've seen second places out of Katie so far this year. I mean, it's pretty amazing to see that you watch them perform in that class, and then watch them go out and race in the women's class, and they're running back 4th and 5th place, and you're like, wow, man, maybe that competition's a little stiffer than what we think. Is it as stiff as what it looks like? I mean, is it stiffer than it ever has been?
Well, I mean, it's hard for me to say that. Obviously, I missed, the first 3 rounds, and, so that, has that set me back at all or whatever? It's hard to say, but, I raced back in the day with Leslie Wells and Angela Butler and, Michelle or whatever, so those guys were the toughest racers I've ever raced against in my life, so, it's good to see that the class is getting, more and more competition in it, and, I think if Chloe and Katie, I think that it's actually more of a head game when they race the girls than it is with the guys, because you can watch them with the guys, and it just looks like, like they're giving all they've got, and then when they get in the women's class, they're a little bit more timid, so I think they just need a little bit more time in that class or whatever, and I think you'll see them just set it on fire getting closer to the end of the year, and I think Adrian and Sam will have their hands full with those 2 girls.
I think you're absolutely right. Now, you talked a few moments ago, you had other things. What are you doing? What have you been doing to keep busy lately?
Well, actually, I thought the whole retirement thing was going to be kind of fun, not doing anything for a while, but it's boring. I couldn't do that real long or whatever, so I actually started bartending, which is pretty fun for me because, I like to talk a lot. So,
oh my goodness, it's Heather Byrd on Quad Radio!
Thanks, Casey. Anyway, so I've been doing that, and that's a lot of fun. Everybody knows how much I like to talk, so that's a good avenue for me. But now I'm actually opening my own deli about 10 miles from my house or whatever, so got that going on. That's why I don't think I'm going to make all the races, even to watch that I anticipated making. So Redbud for sure, just because that one's close, and always a good time there because I've got everyone that comes down to that one, and obviously I like the way Tim and Amy run their races or whatever. So, just got a lot of things going on, just some fun things in life, different than racing.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's really been good talking with you, and wish you the best, and hope to see you a bunch more in the future.
Thanks, Rodney. I appreciate it.
That's Heather Byrd. I'm Rodney Tomlin. This is Quad Radio.